Hey, what's up, y'all? Ah, good morning. Hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully your portfolio is looking okay. And listen, if it's not, there's nothing to panic about. Actually, I'm gonna talk about some of that today too. And so, guys, yeah, I'm gonna tell you way ahead of time that I'm gonna use in a real world example today. And anytime I do this, as you guys should know, it's never to be petty. It's never to make fun of anybody or be condescending, but I try to give you guys real world um, situations that, just show the stuff I'm saying is just not stuff I'm just saying and show you how it actually happens in real time. Let me try to put that in my notes because my notes are not even all the way flushed out again. And it's been really busy this week. Well, y'all should know. Well, y'all know about the Bitcoin price and all that stuff and all that movement, but the behind the scenes stuff has been really crazy. Oh yeah, I got some news for the Patreon today too. Still trying to decide, but anyway, I just start my streams rambling. I know everybody tries to start off professional like their NBC News and all that, but it's whatever. So listen, guys. One thing I'm gonna talk about later, and I'm gonna talk about it now. Of course, we always talk about the Bitcoin price. I'm gonna show you. So you see how this happened. Was this? We had two of these. Well, we'll just talk about this one. So this one yesterday. You see how it drops down here from we were here at 68 because we had broke 69 at one point. At least on some exchanges, it's not really registering and showing here, but right here it says 68.8. And so we dropped all the way down here to 61ish, And so I know a lot of people got scared, and I'm sorry that I'm laughing, but it's just like it's not funny that you guys panic or that anyone panics. It's funny to me because I remember doing the same panics in my first cycle, and now that it's really nothing to worry about. And people panic, and they're like, and then they start. When the price is going up, everybody listens to the people who are bullish. When the price is going down, they're looking for negative news. You will always find the news that you're looking for. If you're looking for positive, you're going to find positive. If you're looking for negative, you're going to find negative. And so you see the price drop, you get scared. You go to see, well, what are people saying? How far are people saying it's going to drop? And so you go start looking for that news, and they're like, "Yep, it's going to 45,000," and then you start losing your mind. And look how quick that jump back up. We're at 60, almost at 67 again, from 68 to 61 to 67. If you listen to this channel and pay attention, not saying I'm the all-knowing guru or whatever, but I've been through this a couple of times, and I keep telling y'all, stop panicking. Stop worrying about trying to trade. This is nothing. Like, to be honest, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was gonna say this later. I don't even think y'all are gonna have to deal with what we dealt with. If you're new to this cycle, you could, but I don't think you're gonna have to deal with those big drops. I think your drops may be 10, 15%, 20. I don't know if y'all gonna experience the 30 and 40 and 50% drops. But if it happens, you just gotta chill. You gotta realize where you are in the cycle. You're in the beginning. You can start panicking maybe later in the cycle when you think we're near the end, but we're in the beginning. None of this stuff should even matter to you right now. But I'm gonna put in my notes. I'm gonna put in my notes something I want to talk about later. I gotta get back on my notes, man. I think I did that one stream without notes, and I felt all good, but I'm not neglecting, man. I still get this stuff together. But anyway, let's get into some of the news stories, and we'll talk about some of that stuff later. And like I said, I'm gonna give you guys some real world scenarios. So yeah, right now we're hanging around at 66 and a half, around trying to close in on 67,000 right now. I don't know what it's going to do. Don't really care. Yeah, it's kind of cool when you see it breaking all time high and this, that, and the other, but it's cool. I ain't really focusing on that. We're focusing on the long term and building a good portfolio that's going to perform well in the long run, in the future. Not right now. We're not looking at short term. Don't let the short term stuff mess you up. Speaking of not letting short term stuff mess you up, I don't have my notes, but I have my articles. So I usually look at my notes to see where I'm going, then I come back, whatever. Yeah, I get behind the scenes. But so this guy had a long term vision. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I need y'all to do. So apparently, they said a lot of the Bitcoin dump yesterday was because of a guy who was mining Bitcoin back in 2010. Did y'all hear that? 2010. That was 14 years ago. So this guy he was mining it back in 2010, and he said, hey, I know he's got to be watching the market. He probably definitely realizes that Bitcoin is going higher this cycle, but he can take some profits and invest in some altcoins or something else that's going to give him higher upside. He waited till it hit all time high again from last cycle, and he sold off. So that's a smart man. Now you just started holding. That's not the move you want to be doing now. You don't want to be selling right now. He's been holding for 14 years, and y'all in two different scenarios. So don't think, oh, he sold, I should sell. But this is a smart man who had long-term vision. He waited 14 years. Like that's a very smart man. I haven't even tracked it to see how much money he's made. A lot of people joking talking about Satoshi's back. Now I think the dump would have been much bigger if it was Satoshi. But where's my water, y'all? I'm sorry. I just brought it. Oh wow. This is you know what? Oh, here it is. Sorry. But yeah, that was a smart man. So this was saying on this article was saying on March 5th, spot trading volume across BTC volume of BTC, excuse me, across sexes reached $46 billion, making the highest level since 2021. And that's what I've been telling you guys. Like we're at levels that we were at the peak of 2021, especially considering Bitcoin. So as I keep saying, I am just waiting for all that glorious money to start flowing back down to altcoins. Yes, some of us locked up in ETFs or whatever, but trust me, it's going to bring so much more money in the market and retail investors when they see the price continue to go higher. It's going to be a great cycle. Um, it said Binance accounted for 23.84 billion of this volume, followed by Coinbase. Now this is crazy, y'all. That's why y'all got to realize how big Binance is. Followed by Coinbase, which was only 4.8 billion. That's like a 6x different. Like Binance had 6 times more Bitcoin volume than Coinbase. Coinbase is cool. Don't get me wrong, because it's one of the exchanges that pretty much everybody can reach, especially the people in the United States or whatever. So, but man, if we can get those Binance numbers, that'd be crazy. And then you have Bybit is at 4.29 billion, OKX at 3.5 billion, KuCoin at 1.4 billion. I still miss KuCoin, and Upbit at 1.36 billion, Kraken at 1.2 billion. But it's a lot of volume. There's a lot of volume coming back in Bitcoin. And so, like I said, it's the highest since 2021. So just realize if we're already at the height of where we were in 2021 and it's still the beginning of the cycle, we have a long ways to go. There's a lot of gains to be made. You just got to make sure you're in the right projects, which I can't even remember the name of my thumbnail, but I think it's like, Bitcoin takes off. Are you ready? But yeah, that's the stuff I'll be talking about. So this one, yeah, now okay, now let me talk about both sides. I know there's been bullish stuff, right? And this is still bullish, but I'm gonna give you a perspective on it. So we have a lot of these predictions. I'm gonna tell y'all this at the front because you're at the front of the cycle. So this is cool. Retail is gonna see this, and I pulled up this particular one because it's a mainstream media news source, NBC, whatever. And so it says Bitcoin could reach 150,000 by 2025. There's been a lot of other predictions. There have people that say 200K, a quarter million, a million. Okay. So if you're in the Patreon, you really don't have to worry about this. But for you in the Patreon, the ones that are not, we'll talk about this stuff. But just note this very basic advice: this is nothing deep. This is not. It could be considered alpha, but I don't think it is. But you got to realize when you see these big people, the Black Rocks or I'm sorry, she seems pretty cool, but Kathy, all these people saying these numbers, you have to realize that they are throwing out these numbers for retail investors to hear. All right. So now if we do this before 2025, maybe that's okay. Or if we do this anytime in the next couple months is okay. But once we start nearing the end of this year, or we are in 2025 and the market's still going, and you hear them say something like 500,000 a million, you got to realize they are giving those numbers to put it in retail's mind for retail to wait for those numbers. You're not going to be that stupid person who's waiting for these predictions. You already going to know if they say, I'm not saying it won't reach there, but I'm just saying, so if you hear them say 500,000, then you should know like 180,000 Bitcoin, you should be smart enough to know that we are not going to get to those numbers, but they have to say those numbers in order to keep retail inside of the market so that they can, y'all know how this goes. But you'll be smart enough to know how to get out in time. But I will say in the way that we're moving out, my conservative or my prediction, I don't mind being wrong. And I say it all the time, if I'm wrong in the good way because it goes higher. But my price prediction right now is around 110 to 115. And I know a lot of people saying that's low, but I mean, we are moving fast right now. We are moving incredibly fast. There's a lot of money coming in. We're almost at 70,000. So yeah, I understand that. Yes, I understand BlackRock is bringing 500 million in a day. Retail will be coming in. Yeah, maybe we can reach 200,000, a quarter million. But I try to be conservative with mine. Mine is 110 to 115, and we'll see how this goes. But I do know whether I'm right or wrong that I'm going to make a lot of money, and the people who are in the Patreon, we're gonna make money. So but I'm just trying. I use this article to give y'all that point of view. Please don't please, if you're in my Patreon and you're watching this channel, and I'm gonna show you how some of y'all get tricked in a minute. I'm gonna use a real world example, and I'm not being petty. But if you're in my don't fall for this. Don't start getting so excited. You like, but everybody's saying it, Zoe. But everybody's saying a quarter million. Everybody's saying five. You should know. Like, look where we are in the cycle. Look where they predicting, and usually we're going to be like we're going to be 40 to 50% less than whatever they're trying to predict or say to people, because they got to make sure you keep your money in the market. We're not going to be a part of that crowd. What is this here? Oh, this is Lord. Okay, listen, y'all. I know he just had a I think it was a sexual assault scandal or whatever. I am not making light of that. That is not what I'm talking about here. But I did pull this up because you just keep seeing all these billionaires of these companies selling off all these major stocks, and look at the timing. I'm not trying to be funny in any way about the assault situation, I'm gonna say again, or even his situation. What I'm saying is I feel like people find reasons and excuses why to sell and why they do the things that they do, and I believe a lot of these people are buying Bitcoin. That, like, I'm not even trying to be like, oh, this is bullish. I'm just trying to say, like, people know what's going on. You can't tell me that Vince didn't buy Bitcoin. Like, I believe, and that's where some of that money went. Here's another story. Now I know a lot of y'all don't get caught up in this stuff or whatever, but it's just to show that we had the Bitcoin ETF news. We have the halving that's coming up, but this is just a list of different bullish things or major events that could cause price fluctuations in Bitcoin. It could be up or down. Once again, volatility up and down prices. You guys don't need to be panicking. Once again, I'm gonna get into that example in a minute. Maybe I should go with that next. Let me see what I have left on here on the. Nope, 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 nope. Actually, I'm going to hit that last. I'm going to hit it last, and then I'm going to talk about some other stuff. But yeah, we got the Federal Reserve expiration. U.S. releases February CPI data. The ETH Dencun upgrade, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago. First meeting of FTX digital customer and non-customer creditors. Nvidia has having their annual conference coming up soon. Like I said, if I'm going to hold AI tokens, I'm just gonna hold the ones I have. I'm not really trying to chase it. I think it'll do well for gaming as well when this conference comes around. So anyway, NVIDIA annual GPU technology conference. We got the Federal Reserve interest rate decisions. Actually, I think I have some news coming up on that. But Jerome, and they were talking this morning, and he was just saying his usual, but he was like, yeah, we think it's the right time for some interest rate cuts or whatever. I still believe it's going to be like around that May, June, or whenever that next meeting is, or probably later on. But just news to consider. U.S. and the SEC submits its opening brief in the lawsuit against Ripple Labs. Trial of the U.S. SEC's fraud charges against Do Kwon. Yeah, I didn't even catch up on the Do Kwon news yesterday, but it was a lot of Do Kwon news. Some of y'all probably don't know who he is, but so I'll just keep going. And Sam Bankman-Fried sentencing date. So yeah, this is a lot of stuff that's happening. Events that are coming up that could cause the market to go up or down. And so yeah, you got to be in the right tokens. I'm gonna brag about something later though. I don't brag a lot, so we're gonna do that. But anyway, this is what I was just talking about with Jerome Powell. He was talking about today. He was like, Powell says rate cuts will likely be appropriate this year. Powell says Fed rates is likely at its peak for the current cycle. Powell says the Fed needs greater confidence on inflation before cutting rates. And this is just all the statements he's said today. And they're still, I think it's still live. I think it's still going on. Every once in a while, I'll try to watch it. It does get boring, I know. So a lot of y'all probably don't care about this. But, if they cut those interest rates, it's booming. And this next one, y'all probably already heard about this one, but I'm gonna bring up another story. But OpenAI says, Elon Musk is suing OpenAI because pretty much, I'm not going to read the whole article, but pretty much he was just saying that, listen, I started with this company and I put some money into it, and we got it. We went into this venture together, and I thought you were making AI accessible for everybody to be able to use, but it seems like you're just working with big companies like Microsoft, and it's not as decentralized as Elon said that he envisioned it to be. OpenAI and Sam Altman are saying that Elon Musk didn't even put in a lot of money. They say he was going to put in $1 billion. He only put in $45 million. So whatever. That's the counter argument that Sam Altman is having. But pretty much OpenAI and even this whole WorldCoin thing are having trouble because come on, article. I'm sorry, my articles. So this next article, back with Sam Altman, OpenAI. So Spain blocks Sam Altman's eyeball scanning venture WorldCoin. I told y'all, I'm not gonna say anybody's no type of nothing. I don't like technology like this. Some people may say I'm conspiracy theories. I'm scared. Like I like technology. I'm just not really messing with this WorldCoin and what they're trying to do. Nobody's scanning my eyeball for anything. If you something you think is cool, that's cool with you. But I don't play that. You don't need none of that. For what? So anyway, a lot of people are not really feeling this on what it was. Spain said they blocked it. Spain has moved to block Sam Altman's crypto currency project WorldCoin, the latest blow to a venture that has raised controversy in multiple countries over plans to collect customers' personal data using an eyeball scanning. Or they claim they don't collect your data and they don't link it back to you in any type of way. So to me, what is the point of scanning my eyeball? Like, I don't care. I'm holding the coin. Don't say nothing about it for him. My channel's too small. I think it's the stupidest idea because if it was doing what a lot of people were afraid of it was doing, it actually would have make some sense. But you're saying you're not even doing that. It just seems real sketchy to me. So I don't know how I'm feeling about Sam lately. Like he's done a lot of stuff that I mean, not and listen, it's not saying I'm some big Elon fan. I'm kind of partial to everybody. I'm not a fan of really anybody. I don't fangirl or fanboy over nobody. But I don't know. Sam has done some stuff that I really don't like myself. So that's my take on it. Now, this is a kind of a side story, but this is a year ago. Meta or Facebook, whatever you want to call them, they backtracked on their whole NFTs on the platforms. I'm wondering, with the cycle moving the way it is and crypto coming back around, how are they going to change their tone on this? Because I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna say this probably very blatantly, but um, I don't think I think Facebook has been really acting like Blockbuster for the last couple of years. They were like a first mover, and they were feeling themselves too much, and I don't feel like they study enough to really realize what they should be doing. Like they try to jump into the metaverse verse way too fast because it was popping last cycle. Then you try to jump into NFTs. They are not making. I don't care if nobody says, "Oh, they richer than you. They got a bigger company than you." Yes, they do. But I don't feel like Facebook or Meta, whatever they want to call themselves, I don't think they make calculated decisions. They feel Meta feels like they feel like retail investors to me. I'm gonna be honest. They feel like the retail investors that come in late in the cycle and just start throwing money at stuff, but they don't make any calculated decisions. I don't feel like they research. I don't feel like they make real power moves anymore. Besides, excuse me, what's the word I'm looking for? Buying other companies or whatever. But yeah, so I'm just wondering what they're going to do this cycle because this was about a year ago when this happened. So it's just something I've been interested in. I'm not really buying NFTs this cycle either, but I do know in the future they have a lot of benefits. So don't get me wrong. But I'm not talking about the cartoon and all that stuff. But yeah, so it's just interesting. But anyway, last story here, and then we can get into the other stuff. Um, I'm gonna see up top. I don't care what Phantom do. I'm not messing with Phantom again. I see a lot of people talking about them. And they got these. They're coming back and they're redeeming themselves, and they got new developments and stuff like that. As I tell you all the time, it's some of them you're just gonna have to miss, even if they do run, no matter who's shilling it or what happens. But I don't know, Phantom seeks money back from multi-chains, $200 million exploit, and whatever they're trying to, shine their image up again. I thought it was like in Phantom last cycle, I held them pretty early, but I'm not really messing with this. I'm just giving my point of view. You don't have to take my point of view because I know you guys, you're going to listen to other people and just you take the information that you gather from your own point of view, my point of view, and other people's point of view, and then you create your perspective off that and consider what you're going to do. But I'm not really messing with Phantom this time around. I don't know where Harry's been. I haven't seen Harry. Harry, where are you at, bro? I haven't seen you, sir. I don't know what you're doing. So, you know, I'm not messing with Phantom. So I know some of y'all are probably gonna ask about it because I know a lot of people been talking about it. So it's not in my wheelhouse. So, do I talk about this now? Once again, if I do when I talk about this, if I talk about it now or later, I'm not being petty. Let me see if I'm gonna talk about this now. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. I'll talk about that last. Give me a minute. So let me just talk about this real quick. No, I'm gonna talk about it now. Talk about it now. So listen, I'm not being petty. I'm gonna get to you guys' comments in a minute. I think we're doing really good on timing today, and me and my lady have another meeting to go to. Oh, we're doing very good on time today, if you ask me. So we have a little meeting to go to after, but you're still gonna get a full show. Um, so I'll talk about this now, and then I'll talk about some other stuff. But so the thing that happened is fun. I'm gonna brag. I saw somebody come. We got in this token, and then somebody was like, "Oh, blah blah blah." I got in this token. I'm telling y'all, get in the Patreon. We be early. We be early. Not on everything, but the ones we are, we're early. And so, let everybody else pump our bags. That's what I'll say. Y'all should know what I'm talking about. But so yeah, let the people pump your bags. But what happened is, and I'm gonna talk about why this is after. But so we did. We have somebody in the group. And I love all you guys. I care about all you guys. And so we got in this token that I'm still very bullish on. I was gonna say it was. I'm very bullish on, and I think his has some great potential. And so to me, I feel like I preached about this on the channel to levels of boredom about not trying to trade and just holding and believing in what you have. And so what happened was one of the people in the group, I'm just using real world examples. I'm not being petty, and I think they're okay with me talking about this. They saw, okay, Bitcoin hit all time high. Bitcoin hit all time high, and then you watching all these other channels, and that's cool. You can watch other channels, get other POVs, but so everybody was like, okay, we hit all time high, so it's time for a retracement. Which is, if you're thinking in trading terms and chart terms and all, yeah, it could seem like very sound advice. Am I still going? I feel like my lady just called me. Sound on, visuals on. Are we good? We good. Okay, I thought she said something. Sorry. But yeah, so it sounds like sound advice. You're like, okay, we hit Bitcoin all time high, time to retrace or whatever. So the retracement started. So at first glance it says, oh, this person is correct. They're looking out for me. This is good because Bitcoin is retracing. So this token that we got into that is stop saying was though, that is really good. We got into it at a great price or whatever, and they heard about the retracement and they sold the token thinking they were going to buy back when it went lower. I'm going to take my time on this one. They saw the Bitcoin got to all-time high. All the smart traders said Bitcoin is going to retrace, therefore the entire market is going to retrace. We had already gotten into this token at a very great price. And the person said, hey, this person said the market is going to retrace. Bitcoin went from 69 and dumped down to, I think, 64. And they were freezing. Y'all see how I try to freeze when I give good information? Now I got to go back and I'll try to tell it quicker. So I'm back. She's the best, y'all. So let me try to say this clearly because the internet is trying to stop me for some reason. So listen. So what happened was some trader told the person in the group that Bitcoin was going to retrace, and like I said, Bitcoin was at 69. It was at 69, and Bitcoin fell to 64. So it looked like that person was telling them like they were correct. Bitcoin retraced them. They thought the whole market was going to retrace. So they sold out of the token that we were in. They sold out of it. And then the price of that token started flying. And so now you're buying expensive. That's why I keep telling y'all to just hold. I know it sounds boring and but you have to wait. You have to have patience. You can't be fearful. Like that wasn't even a big drop, y'all. I know you're new, and I'm trying to say this with empathy. Like that was not a big drop. That was maybe an 8 to 10% drop, if that. We're gonna have moments when it could 20 and 30% drop. Just hold your tokens. Buy them early at a good price and hold them. So instead of, I believe they had to pay about 50% higher to come back in to where we got in. I keep preaching it. I know it bores you because you're like, but just drop us some token that's under 80,000 market cap so we can get a 6 billion X. This is the important stuff, and I'm showing you how it's important. And I feel bad for the person. I told them that, and I'm saying this all with empathy and care. I'm not being petty, and I'm not trying to be mean or beat up the person, but it's just like I've been trying to tell you guys, like just hold, because now they have 50% less. What's the math of that? It's probably 30, whatever the math is. They have less than they had before. So it's like you have 100 tokens because you bought it at a good price, and then you end up having to buy back in, higher. It's just a y'all, you gotta hold, man. Right now, we're in the beginning. I'm not. This is not the end of the cycle when stuff is going crazy and Zoe is trying to get you caught up and make you lose your money and you're about to get dumped on. Like that's not what's happening. I tell y'all, even when you might buy in at a price, say if you buy in at $1, and Zoe may say, "Hey, this is a decent entry," and as they always say, not financial advice. So I may say, "This is a good entry at $1." It might go down to 30 cents, and you like, but does he know what he's talking about? In the long run, you won't even remember the prices of 30 cents or $1, like because we're here at the beginning. So yeah, I know it's very boring for you guys to hear. And you feel like here's my next point. Let me just move on to the next point, which is connected. Y'all have to know, and I think a lot of you, or some of you, I'll say, don't realize when you're following a trading channel. A lot of these channels, especially the bigger ones, are trading channels. We are not traders. We're trying to buy stuff early, hold it, and make astronomical X's and gains on it. So a lot of times when you're taking this advice, you're taking advice from a channel who really caters to traders who are going in and out. And maybe they're expert traders, maybe they're not. So you can't be taking the same advice from these people. And they're like, oh, Bitcoin's hit all-time highs from the retrace. And then, like I said, it went down to 61.5. Now we're back at almost 67,000. That happened that fast. And the time that even if you sold out of Bitcoin, it was just dropping. By the time you bought in, you probably still got caught. So just buy early and hold it. I hate that happens to the person. I don't want that to happen to anybody else. That's why I mentioned the real world scenario. So you don't think I'm just talking out of my head and what I believe and what my theology is. So yeah, I do feel bad for the person because they had many more coins than they have now, or excuse me, tokens. One day I'll explain that. But coins are like the chains. Bitcoin, Litecoin, stuff like that. They actually are the blockchains. Tokens are the altcoins. I'll explain it better later. But anyway, they have much less tokens than they had before, and I wish they would have just held on. But it's going to take some time, and I'm not trying to be like pompous here, but it's going to take some time before you realize like, oh, Zoe knows what he's talking about. Whether it may be a pick that you're like, well, nobody's talking about this one, then all of a sudden everybody's talking about it. I talked about this, at length a bunch of times, and I won't harp on it, but I told you how we held Neon and G Swift when no one was talking about it. When everybody was like, "What is this?" And then the few guys that were in the group at the beginning was like, "Man, these things ain't moving. Like we've been holding them 2 and 3 months. It was like summertime when we picked these up. Nobody started talking about those until like the fall, and then they start flying. So y'all will find out. Like Zoe know what he's talking about. Well, I'm in this other group, and I'm not saying, I'm not really. I know I say it sometimes, but I'm not trying to say I'm the best group and all the other ones dumb. But like somebody saw this time, they was like, "Dang, you talked about." And then people listen. Y'all were questioning me. I don't try to front. Sometimes in the Patreon, y'all question me like, and I know y'all be like, "Bro, do you know what you're talking about?" Man, nobody's talking about this token. I heard this about it. I heard that about it. I heard this about it. And then it was like a couple of days later, it was like, oh, this person started talking about it and put a buy alert out. Yeah, I'm like, they behind. Like I'm a small channel. I'm a small Patreon, but I know my stuff. And I usually the tokens I tell y'all about, I've already been knowing about them for months. I did not find out about them this month. I have a list of tokens from 6 months ago that haven't even came out yet. So this is not when I found out about this stuff, I didn't just find out 2 months ago or 3 weeks ago. And sometimes I'm waiting to see which one we're going to get in. So I do feel like I have one of the better patrons. No, I will say one of the best. There's a lot of other good ones out there too. Well, no, excuse me. Let me reverse that statement. There's some other good ones out there. But yeah, whatever. But listen, y'all, just try to buy early and try to hold. I hate that happened to the person, but I'm just telling y'all how I'm telling you real time how it happens. Yeah, I talked about that. Knowing you're watching the trading channel. So here's another. Well, I'll talk about this one. So you can kind of tell that retail investors are coming back in, but it's the type of retail that was here from last cycle. Like they were in last cycle, but they probably didn't have all the knowledge that they needed to have. So it's not new people, but it's people that's coming back from last cycle because I saw somebody, I saw it on another live stream and they were talking in the comments. And so they were talking pulse chain, man, bullish on pulse chain. And so as I watch the channel, listen, I watch a lot. I watch everybody in my Patreon, on my YouTube. I kind of know you guys' names and how you talk and your syntax and all that. So I kept seeing this person come back to that live stream. And they were pulse chain, pulse chain, pulse chain. And so it's been 2 weeks. And then it's just like today, they found out that Richard Hart was on the run. It was like, what? Richard? I was like, how are you so bullish on this thing? Y'all don't need, if you're bullish on something, you got to research it. How did you not know that? Like, that's pretty big news nobody else in that, that community told you about it. Yeah, I don't mess with Pulse Chain. But it's just funny. I'm realizing that a lot of people just invest in stuff and don't they don't even know what's going on. They didn't know Buddy was on the run, and they didn't even know all the stuff that happened. What, he was using money for this, he was using money for that. Like, come on, y'all, keep up with what y'all invest in. Hmm. Oh, this is some Zoe wording here. But I was just saying, like, as fast as many projects I know about, as much stuff as I study and all the tech I know, and I have notes and notes and list of tokens that I follow, that I'm still looking for the ones that are going to be money makers. Like, I know you can look at a token and know that it's going to be good, but like I keep saying to y'all, I'm hoping that the cycle is longer. But if it moves faster, I want to be able to be holding the right tokens now if they start moving fast. So if I know a project is good tech, but the market cap is too high, or I don't see the gains where it could go, I'm probably going to skip it. And if it does go farther than what I think it can, as I always say, if I'm wrong, I'm going to be wrong in a good way. That just means the ones I'm holding are going to go higher than I'm thinking. So that's a note. And what is this last note? Um, Oh yeah, I was saying this in line with the token that got sold. That I told the person that they should hold because we got in at the beginning. We got in at like the very bottom, and I told you guys, no, just hold it, and it started flying. But I made a note that some of you guys, I don't know, everybody's tolerance is different. Some people have anxiety, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some of you may not. Some of you probably should not just be looking at your portfolio. Like, maybe you just need to buy in when you see a buy alert and get in early. Know that it's the bottom. Know that we try to get you in at a good time. And listen, man, probably just not look at the portfolio. See what people talking about in the group. Because if you have anxiety, I'm smiling now, but I'm not making fun of it. But yeah, if you kind of have anxiety or you get a little pressure by the market movements, man, might need to buy in and just look at it every 3 days, maybe, because even now I know my portfolio is doing pretty well. I have a lot of different narratives that, hedge each other or whatever, and different tokens that hedge against one another. When one runs, the other one doesn't or whatever. And eventually they all run. But I barely look at my portfolio myself, and I don't even have that problem. But anyway, let me get to some of these questions or whatever. I had some other stuff on news stories, but I don't want to talk too long because where we at? We at 30 minutes. I think that's a good time. Let me look at some of these comments. So go ahead and get your comments in, your questions, and all that good stuff. And I feel like we had some good information in here. So if you're just coming in now, you can go back and watch it. And like I said, use that real world example so y'all don't think I'm just talking my own theology or my own doctrine or whatever when it comes to crypto. So you see how this really works. But let's get to these comments. We got PC said, happy start to a new day. It is a happy start to a new day. I got a lot of stuff to handle today. It's gonna be a busy day, but I'm still happy. I'm above ground. I'm still here to chase my ambitions and my dreams and make this money in crypto, help other people out. So listen, no matter what your situation is, man, it's always a good day. I would even say this. I don't know if I can say the word on stream. I'm sorry, I'm finna veer off just a tad bit and I'm gonna get back. But I used to think, I'm gonna be honest, I used to think people who wanted to unlife themselves were stupid, but I did go through that one time in my life, like mm, maybe a decade ago, a little bit over a decade ago. But I'm gonna tell you, once you bend that corner, you kind of be like, what was I thinking? Like, it's never that rough, man. So it's always a happy start to the day. Anytime you're above ground, you got a chance to change your life around. It's a good day. It's always a good day, man. So y'all just be grateful, especially y'all in crypto right now. You have this opportunity right now that a lot of people don't have. A lot of people just gonna FOMO in later, and they're gonna be saying the same thing at the end of this cycle. Crypto's a scam, man. But they didn't take the chance to get in early like you guys are. And so once again, buy in early, get in great prices, and hold. Don't be trying to be a trader. You'll mess yourself up. Bob said, "Good day, all. Good day, man. Good day." Eddie Rose said, "Subscribe, smash the like button, and join the Patreon." Yeah, definitely. Eddie's been in there pretty early. We're in a lot of good plays, and we get in a lot of them before other people. I know I have this one play that's, I mean, when I say it's still way under the radar, it's way under the radar. And I know a lot of you guys were questioning it, and it's so under the radar it's hard for me to keep track of sometimes. And it's been doing pretty well. I just looked at it again today, so waiting for that one to pop off even more, even though it's done some great gains for us. So yeah, get in the Patreon. Get in the Patreon. We hold on here. Let me move this tab over here. Oh man, I had a good breakfast too. My lady made me a very good breakfast. She's like, I live with it like a chef, man. She's, and when I first got with her, I didn't know it because she's like extremely beautiful. And I don't know if y'all know, nobody believes that beautiful women can cook, but she the truth, man. She the truth. So I got a good breakfast, got my water, feeling good. Yeah, smash the like, subscribe, and join the Patreon. I'll put that on screen for a minute. I guess I'll put that in. I usually do this at the end of the stream because I don't really be thinking about it. But in case anybody wants to know, there's the link to the Patreon. It's patreon.com/cryptozo. And as I always say, we're going to cut it off early. I'm not going to have one of these big Patreons like everybody else. I know some people out there collecting Patreon members like infinity stones. I swear. Like they don't care how many are in there. They're just trying to collect money. That's not what we're trying to do over here. We're gonna have a small Patreon. It will be cut off much sooner than you probably thinking. So if you want to get in there, go ahead and get in there. Patreon.com/cryptozo. Anyway, Nindo said, yo, what's up, man? Mark said Myro new all-time high. Yeah, I did see that. I didn't get into that play. I want to talk about another one, but I don't want it to sound like FUD. I'll put it this way: you do your own research. There's another one that's been moving, and I see some news about it or whatever. And it could do well. I don't. It probably will, but just because of what's surrounding it and this whole narrative or whatever. Um, oh yeah, Mario looks decent, whatever. But yeah, I didn't get into it. I don't think I'm going to get into it. But yeah, all I see on this particular meme that people been talking about is like literally all scammers and like one trader. That's he has he's a part of a YouTube channel. He's a trader that talks about different trades or whatever. But yeah, I mean it's like literally full of scammers on the Twitter that's following it. So it could still fly because they can push it. But I'm cool with a meme coin that has a lot of influencers, but these people are like straight scammers. So I'm not saying Myro, excuse me. I'm not talking about Myro, but it's another. I don't know about Myro. I don't really track it like that, but it's another one. And so do with that information as you will. Oh, as you said, the volume is low. I was sitting back a little bit. Is this what is it like now? I did. Oh God, hopefully you guys been mm, 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 mm. Say said actually my bid is too high. Actually, that's the problem. Because my and I'm just not trying to sound braggadocious. I saw somebody said that my bid is actually way too high. Probably that's probably the thing because I use like my equipment is I probably got to get some actual like USB kind of stuff or whatever. Let me see. Let me try to turn it up real quick. I'm not going anywhere, y'all. So y'all should still hear me, but let me try to turn the volume up. I mean, it should be fine. It looks like it's pretty deep. Maybe it's because I was sitting back. But let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. As I said, good morning, sir. The sound is very low. Oh, I just saw the comment. It should be better now. Tad Ape said, "Yo, good morning, good morning, good morning. How you doing?" Jacob says there have not been a drop more than 20%, which is unusual. Yeah, I think I had that in my notes. I don't think I said it, but I don't try to predict this stuff, and I really don't care to try to predict it. But I don't know. I think the people who are new to the cycle, even though they're scared now, I think y'all lucky because I don't think we're gonna be getting these 30 and 40%. I think 20% may be like it may be like the high. I may be wrong. But with all these institutional investors and the money here and them buying up the dips like they're used to buying dips and stocks and other stuff, I think 20% is probably all y'all can get. And I don't think these new people realize how like y'all lucky. Y'all lucky. Y'all be scared about 10% dips in Bitcoin and 30% dips in altcoins. Man, that's nothing. Like Bitcoin used to dip 30% and your altcoin would go down 60%, and then you have to wait for the retrace. Like calm 30% dip, 40% dips in your altcoins is nothing. I'm trying to tell y'all. I heard somebody say this earlier, that's the price you have to pay for the tremendous upside because crypto is volatile. That's the price you got to pay if you want to make these astronomical gains. Tad H said that person deserved to sell. Oh, I think you would talk. This looks like it was a while ago. So you were talking about Bitcoin, the Bitcoin miner. Yeah, they held it for 14 years. Like they definitely deserved it, man. They probably living good. I don't even know if they're gonna put money back in altcoins. They might put a little back in. They might take their profits and just move on to and buy an island or something. I didn't see how much they pulled out. I wanted to do those calculations before the stream. But yeah, they definitely got some money. Tad Ape said they're probably retirement age anyway. Good for them. Yeah, 14 years ago, man. That was at the beginning of Bitcoin. So they've been mining a long time. Jag17 said, "Cryptozo, do you hold any meme coins even if it's a small bag?" Yeah, I do. I'll be honest. I even say that I don't talk about them and I don't put buy alerts out about them. I talked about a few in the past, but usually I know this sounds crazy, but was even for last cycle and more so for this cycle because Meme coins are becoming a narrative, but y'all problem is, or some of y'all's problem is, y'all just ape into every meme coin that you hear somebody say is going to be bullish and it's going to fly. And yeah, you got to research these meme coins just like a regular project. Who's behind it? Who are the devs? What kind of backing do they have? Yeah, because that's really a thing. So anyway, I was saying because big meme coins are really more like a narrative this cycle, more than like an outlier. That meme coins, they're actually a hedge on my portfolio. Oftentimes when um, my other altcoins, even though they're great altcoins and they're great projects, when they're going down, it's usually my meme coins that push it right back up to keep it back level to where it was. And sometimes it goes back to where it is. And I know I don't even put those in when y'all see my portfolio. And I'll never put that in. I'll make talk about them, but I won't put those in like my portfolio, like for those in the Patreon. You'll never see them there or whatever. But yeah, they're like a hedge. Like people consider Bitcoin a hedge, Bitcoin's a hedge, meme coin's a hedge. Any kind of different asset or category or narrative can be a hedge to the other one. So gaming could be a hedge to AI. AI could be a hedge to layer ones or versus vice versa, whatever. But meme coins overall can be a hedge to your entire portfolio with your series altcoins. And listen, I know I probably shouldn't be saying this on stream, but it is kind of what it is, but you got to find the right ones. Like I said, I see one that could pump and it has been pumping. It's done pretty well in the last couple of weeks, but all I can say is I'm not touching it because all I see is scammers following it. So I feel like these scammers should be smart enough because they have been in the space a long time to like, okay, let it keep pump so we can make some money. Excuse me, so we can make some money or whatever. But I'm not touching it. So yeah, I do hold some meme coins or whatever. I was saying the other day, in the Patreon. I'm not even gonna talk about which one this one. Maybe I'll talk about it in the Patreon. But this one that I held, very small bag. And once again, I don't think with the exception of one or two events that's happened in the Patreon, one happened like yesterday when they was like, "Oh, you are earlier than some of these other Patrons or these other YouTubers," and because I'm a small channel, you don't expect that because you're like, "Isn't the alpha going to be where the thousands of followers are?" But I really study his mark and I get ahead and I track stuff for months. So we got onto one legit great play, and the guys were like, "Hey, this Patreon talked about it after you, or whatever." We had already talked about it. But anyway, on the lines of meme coins, I researched my meme coins. I was like, okay, who's behind them? What this, that, and other. And so I put $60 in a meme coin like this fall or whatever. I was like, okay, when meme coins run, this thing will run. But like I said, I didn't even keep it in any of my portfolio trackers either. I just had it in my wallet. And so I put $60 in there, and I was going to one of my wallets to look up something else that I was about to buy. And I looked at the wallet and I was like, what? Like this balances, I kind of know what my balances are across my wallets, even though I have a lot of them. And so long story short, that $60 that I put back in the fall turned into 10 grand. And so it had did like 180x and I didn't even realize it. But it came over like the last couple of weeks or whatever. So yeah, when I find a meme coin, I don't put a lot in there, but I do try to make sure that I'm researching and like seeing who's behind it or whatever and determine how much I put in there. But yeah, so yeah, I have those. And actually that was one that held the portfolio up. That's when the crash was kind of happening. And the next thing I went in, I added it to my I added it to the portfolio. I was like, let me keep track of this thing. So yeah, I almost had my first 200x of the cycle. I thought it was gonna be another token, but it's crazy. It wasn't a lot of money I put in there, but so yeah, but I'm researching everything. That's why it takes me. I tell people sometimes I'm not always in the Patreon every second of the day because I'm in there researching for you guys, so I can find the right stuff or whatever. But yeah, that was crazy. So yeah, I hold some meme coins, but very responsibly. Mark said Zoe with hat pumping today. Oh, it's crazy. Zoe with hat. Oh, I didn't know I could even do that. I got this. Yeah, okay, cool. Tad H said 120. I think you're talking about Bitcoin. Christopher Robinson said 110 to 115 is a great prediction. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And look, it could blow past that, but I'm just conservative. What I'm saying is if we're nearing the end of the cycle and it's at about 105 or whatever, like I'm not going to be the person who's waiting for a quarter million because somebody said Bitcoin was going to a quarter million. And if it's at a quarter million at that time and somebody's saying it's going to 500,000, I know what they're doing when they're throwing these numbers out here, especially when they put it on a news website like NBC or Fox or CNN, whatever news source it is. Don't believe that mess, man. Y'all smart enough. You should be smart enough to know not to get caught up in their predictions. They don't know what they're talking about. No way. My lady, I thought she was talking to me again. Something go wrong? Okay. Ad Tank said, how much percentage should I have in USDT? Oh man, everybody's gonna tell you something different. Everybody's gonna tell you something different, man. I don't even have a number. It just depends on where we are in the market, what plays I have that I'm waiting to come out. Um, 5% right now for me because the market's moving so fast, and I want to make sure that I have my money in the market so my plays can move. Because what I keep saying, I don't think people realize that, yeah, when Bitcoin falls, there's two things that happen. Bitcoin can fall and the whole market could fall, but Bitcoin could fall and that means the money's flowing back into alts and we can have an alt run. So those you got two different scenarios. That's why you shouldn't be taking the chance of trying to trade. But I probably have like 5% on the side, to be honest. I know people can be like, well, that's stupid. You should have 15 to 20%. I'll do what I do because I'm always putting new money in the market anyway. As he said, I joined the VIP very late, and my advice to everyone watching: be a part of the great community, great gems. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I've been telling a lot of people this. They come on the YouTube channel. I'm like, I'm joining Patreon next month. I'm gonna join. Oh, let me take it off stream because I don't want you to think I'm just shielding this the whole time. Let's watch the Bitcoin price. But so yeah, I'll be telling people when they're on the stream, like, I'm gonna join next month. I'm gonna join in 2 months. Like that's not the best advice I have for you. But I mean, you join when you want to join. You don't have to join at all. But yeah, we got some good stuff in there. Why Crypto says, Zoe, you check out Gari. I don't like Shingari at all. I know it's supposed to be backed by Solana Ventures and stuff, which I love Solana, but I don't like the way they did stuff last cycle. And it's a lot of stuff they did. I'm not even gonna give them really airtime. You know, yeah, I mean that's a lot of what you call it. That's a lot of backing. Solana Ventures, OKX, KuCoin, or whatever. But Shingari did a lot of shady stuff last cycle, and I don't mess with them. And then they tried to rebrand or whatever. It's really called Shingari, but I think they changed the Gari network. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt when they maybe do a token migration or whatever. But I don't like Shingari at all, or Gari, whatever crap you call it. I'm not touching it. I wouldn't touch it with. I wouldn't put $10 in there. Katie said, move fast and break things. Wait. Katie K said, move fast and break things. Mark just swings at everything. Oh, Mark Zucky. Oh yeah. Man, Facebook they don't make calculated decisions, man. They just be throwing darts at the board. They too big of a company to be doing that, man. You don't have any advisors and people you can talk to. Get some young people in there. Something like, come on, man. Y'all just be. He tried to go fast on Metaverse. Yeah, you got the second version out or whatever, but he jumped in like raggedy as I don't know what. And I know sometimes you got to move fast and figure it out as you go. But they too big of a company to be doing that. They feel like they're followers rather than leaders. They got to get their stuff together, man. Anyway, Katie K said, as he is absolutely right. Absolute. Oh, as he absolutely sorry. Best crypto community by far. Oh, appreciate it, Katie. Taddy said, feed broke. The feed is broke. Is the feed broke? Hopefully it's back now. Truth with eyes open said, hey, what about taxes? That is something I will like scathe across later because I'm not a tax advisor and I know I do have a license to do that. That's kind of dangerous to do, especially on a YouTube live. What I will tell you is that short-term gains are a higher percentage. If you hold long-term, you get long-term capital gain, tax at a lower level than holding short-term. And every time you trade in and out, that's a taxable event. And every time all like I said, every time you sell, buy, every time you sell or trade is a taxable event. So you want to make sure you're trying to hold as long as possible so you don't have a lot of taxable events. I could maybe talk about tax software, maybe on another live. I'll make a video for that about tax softwares you can use and all that kind of good stuff. But buy early, try to hold as long as you can in a safe manner, and that's the advice I can give on taxes. Jacob Mendot said 15% drop yesterday, which is small in terms of BTC. Yeah, I'm trying to tell people. I hated that somebody listened to people and was like, man, it's going to drop further. It was a 15% drop. Like that, when I say that's normal, I don't even budge at that. Like I don't even blink. I might like my heart rate doesn't change at all. Like 69, 60, even 60. If it had fell from 69 to 56, I still would have been like, okay, cool. Let's go find some chips and dip to eat. Like it's nothing. Like I got to be ready. It could get worse. So if that's phasing you now, you got to get used to that. That's nothing. Chuck LeMaine said, yeah, been a while since we dropped 15%. Yeah, man, 15, 20% is, I feel like 20% to 25% may be the top. I don't know if they're going to get to 30 and 40%, but if we do, y'all should just chill and relax. As he said, what is your strategy on DCA? I have a whole different type of DCA. So not most people when they DCA, they just put a set amount in every week or every month or on the schedule. I understand. I feel like that's a tactic that came from stocks, and even some of the smartest crypto investors that I know and that I like still do that in crypto. But I don't do that. My DCA is when I see that price drop tremendously, that's when I make my buys. And it could be 2 or 3 weeks that go by and I won't even buy a certain token because I need a real price drop. Like I like buying as close to the bottom as possible. If y'all don't know, let me say this. Let me say this on stream, even for the Patreon. Once I put out the buy alert, y'all know what the pick is. Y'all can decide when y'all see that price drop whether to buy it again. I think some Patreons tell you every single time to buy, and I try to do that if I see a tremendous drop on something. But y'all see what the picks are. Go see where they like. Y'all got to do a little bit. No, you know what I mean. So if you see a tremendous price drop on something that we already bought and there's a price alert on it, then go scoop it up. But if I see a tremendous price drop, then I'll be scooping my bags up. Because like I said, the one we bought most recently, we got at a very good price, and it dropped maybe was it 10-15% maybe from where we got in. I bought that bottom of the bottoms for that token or whatever. And so we got in at the best entry we could. Then somebody came in and pumped our bags, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, man, that's my strategy. My strategy is buying at the lowest price I can. Natty said, I forgot about the stream due to being in a meeting. I caught up the last 20 minutes by watching 2x speed. That's me. Oh, I watch everybody's streams like 2x speed, man. And I still be doing something over here. I'll be eating and I'll be in another window. So yeah, that's how I do it too. So yeah. Natty, I don't know if you got in the group yet. I got a couple of y'all that emailed me, so I'm not sure who I got to or who I didn't. But yeah, man, we got some good stuff in there, y'all. Get in the Patreon when you get a chance. Like I say all the time, listen, I know some of y'all been on the channel since the beginning or whatever, but gotta go ahead and get in there because I'm about to double the price in a minute. And it's just, I mean, it's still gonna be cheap to be honest for the information you're getting. Anyway, Taddy said Post Chain would be great if Richard Hart wasn't hiding from the feds. Man, I don't mess with Post Chain. Richard Hart's a scammer, man. I don't touch nothing in that ecosystem. I don't touch nothing that's post related or what's the other one? Yeah, I don't touch none of that stuff. I knew he was a straight scammer. Like even when you have a little bit of money and you see somebody trying to like he used to have the watches on his desk. Like that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like who just has their watch collection on their desk in front of their live stream on YouTube? Like that was like it was a super red flag here. So I said, bro, your audio is a bit low. Please check it. Oh, I thought you see, I'm techie. I thought you were saying my bit depth or whatever. Hopefully it should be good now. Tadave said his audio is fine. Hopefully I'm not too loud now because I did turn it up. Say said, bro, how many X's Casper can make from now? Let me see what that sucker's at. I'm trying to tell y'all. Listen, this is even for my projects, even the Celestias, but Celestia's got a lot of bull stuff behind it. You're gonna have a lot of big caps and blue chips, whatever you want to call it. And that's the entire market, even for low caps, gaming, AI. No matter what your picks are, the market is oversaturated. So people talk about Casper, but it's community driven. It's fair launch. Yeah, that's cool and all, man. But I see a 15 to maybe 30x at the most, and I think 30x is overly bullish, probably to me for right now. I think the Casper community feels like they just gonna push the retail, and their cheerleading squad is so big that it's gonna pump it. 100x, man, that ain't happening. The 50x is stupid. I don't think it's gonna do a 50x at all. I would never say that just sounds like mental retardation. Lord, I probably shouldn't have said that on stream. Don't block me, YouTube. But and I didn't mean that in a demeaning way. But yeah, I think I think the IQ is a bit low to think that Casper is going to 100x. Sorry, I'm not trying to be offensive, but just no. Look at the market cap. It's almost at 4 billion. 100x will be 400 billion. You're saying right now that Casper is going to be half the market size of Bitcoin. Like, come on, man. Bitcoin took 10 years to get here. I'm not gonna harp on that. Y'all know how I feel about it. Benjamin K said he wants to get in the Patreon to ask his question. I can't tell you that on stream, my guy. And then I'll almost be like financial advice, but you can get in the Patreon and we can talk about it. And if you have a different name on stream and you are in the Patreon, just DM me and ask me about that. Because you said, what do you think of One Cat? I didn't like One Cat. I mean, One Cat, like I said, it was cute, they got a little cute advertisement and they got the their the marketing and stuff looks cool and they're supposed to be creating a game, but it's still like in between whether it's a meme coin or a game or which one. Like they haven't stated clearly which one it is first, and I just feel like they're trying to hit too many avenues or whatever. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I can't remember who they backers were or whatever. I know I looked at it like 3 or 4 different times, and I was not bullish on it really. Like I said, it's decent. It's meme coinish. All the tokens are out, so there's really no dilution, and maybe that's why people like it. But it's not something I like or care to hold. Um, Mitch said need to clean your ear. Oh wait, Mitch said need to clean your ears and dump that Casper. Oh god, yeah, man, Casper's not going 100x, man. I don't know why people are trying to sell that to people, man. This I will say this: some of the people that were talking about Casper, I thought were pretty okay, but I've been hearing a lot of bad stuff, so I guess it's kind of lining up. Like I said, y'all, you really just pumping people's bags who got in early. And what I will say is, I know one particular YouTuber accidentally showed how much they had in Casper one time, and that's when Casper was at 800, about 800 million market cap, and they had like a quarter million in there. And so they keep pushing it to the audience, and I'm like, you're really just pumping their bags. So they're definitely at they're at about 2 million now in Casper. And so that's why they're pushing it so hard. Y'all gotta know. I don't even push my bags on here. Like how many times, like one of my first big bags I had, I got a G Swift. How many times y'all hear me talk about G Swift on stream? I'll be like, y'all gotta get in G Swift. Y'all gotta get in G Swift because that'd be just pumping my bags. Like I'm really trying to help people on my Patreon. And like I said, it's gonna be so late when they realize at the end of the cycle they only got a 10 or 20x or whatever when they could have had 100 or 200x by being in my Patreon and listen to other people who don't know jack crap about crypto. And like I said, it's about 3 channels. I'm gonna say it. I ain't even saying the names. It's about 3 or 4 channels that don't know anything about crypto, and their Patreons are gargantuous, bro. And I mean, like I used the example the other day. It would be the equivalent if you know about basketball and somebody walk up to you and they be like, Steph Curry is one of the best centers of all time. And you gonna automatically know that they don't know about basketball because you know Steph Curry is a point guard. He's not a center. So when they say stuff, you who are an expert in the situation, you're like, did you just say that means you know nothing about crypto? And their patrons are huge. And it's gonna be too late for the people that's in there. That's all I can say. It's gonna be way too late. And they're not gonna make the gains that we're gonna make in our Patreon, or just probably even just listen to the perspective that I have on YouTube, even if you don't join the Patreon. Y'all getting scammed about a lot of these people, man. I just feel bad. And like I said, the Patreons cost way more than mine. And like I said the other day, I feel offended that y'all even paying these prices for their patrons and then asking me for deals or hesitating getting into Patreon, and people out here paying 4 times more for somebody who literally knows less than you or probably just as much as you. Like, I'm gonna leave that alone. But I'm trying to tell y'all, like, I mean, do what you want to do. It doesn't matter. So I hate to see people get scammed. Now, the thing I hate the most is people trying to take credit for my research. So I'm not about the research and you take credit for it. Like that's not gonna happen. But anyway, moving along. Truth with eyes open said, "How do we cash out after we hold? The banks are going under." Man, you keep it in stable coins. Listen, I'm gonna talk about this, at extent on one of these lives. But we have a lot of different ways that for one, they're gonna bring stablecoin regulation soon anyway. You have like Tangent that has Tangent Pay where you can just hold the stable coins on your Tangent wallet and you can spend it off the debit card that they're creating. I thought it was gonna be out by now, but it's cool. Give them some time. Maybe it'll be out by the summer. But they have a Visa partnership where you can spend Visa anywhere and you can just like connect it to one of your Tangent wallets, or actually I think it's any cold wallet, but I prefer Tangent. And so you connect it to your Tangent wallet, and say you have multiple cold wallets, right? And you just know today I'm just spend 2 grand. Maybe I'm go shopping and get 2 grand. So you can just put 2 grand in that cold wallet, and that's only so even if somebody steals your cold wallet, they only have access to 2,000 that's in that cold wallet. You can just switch to the next cold wallet. So yeah, I'm trying to spend all my. I'm not even trying to go back to the banks unless I have to. I might keep maybe 5% of my net worth in actual cash in banks or whatever. So that's my point of view right now. It may change later, but we can talk about that in the future. Say said, will you continue your Patreon for lifetime members even after the bull run? No, I think I said that up front that the lifetime for mine is for this bull run is for the next 2 years, and the price is so cheap that it's much cheaper anyway. So it's really just for the next 2 years. I'm retiring after this. That's why when people like come like, oh, you trying to just come up off somebody else's channel? I'm not trying to grow this channel, man. I don't think y'all understand how many other things I do in life. Like I'm a person who's like a expert at a lot of different things. I do multiple different things. So my main one is filmmaking. Um, and yeah, that's the stuff I'm trying to do. So after the bull, I mean, that's we can always come back or whatever, but I'm probably retiring after this. I'm just really here to help people make change their lives this bull cycle, and then we out of here. So for the next 2 years, we're here, and that's what that is. I'm not trying to live on here, man. Kazuma said Casper is dead. Oh man, I don't know if it's dead, but I'm not trying to hold it. Tina B said the comment about wifey, love it. I don't even know what comment I made about her. I'm always talking about her. Yeah, I love her, man. She's the best. Like, and we've been finding out recently, like we really have it even better than we thought. Like we knew we were a good couple, but we didn't know like we what people thought Will and Jada was like. And I always think it's corny when people have like couples channels and they be trying to. A lot of these couples be. I don't know why. I don't know why everybody trying to have a couples channel and give marriage advice and stuff like that. And I just see so many of these influencer channels. They just like, oh, we're getting divorced now or whatever. Because I think you put a lot of pressure on your relationship when you bring the social media and you try to like, parade it as a perfect relationship, or you trying to help people with their relationships. And sometimes I see through those red flags, but we're really like friends. Like I could spend all day with her every second of the day. I can talk to her all day. I see people like, man, I need a break from mine. I don't need no break from mine. I'm just like, come on, come on over here, come home. Like I can spend every second of the day with her, man. We can talk all day. We still, you know how you talk when you get with somebody. Now I'm getting emotional, y'all. You know how when you first like dating somebody, like on the first date, and you're trying to figure out everything about them. So yeah, I got a lot to talk about. Like, okay, you like this kind of car. Okay, you got this kind of career. Like we still talk about like that today, and it's been years. Like we still can just hold conversations and talk about everything. So I'm gonna leave that alone before I get emotional. But yeah, I love her. She dope. She dope. Anyway, John Ferguson said, "Hey Zoe, what do you think about, bro? I don't even know what that is." Oh, are you trying to say IS? Oh, okay, I see. Okay. Um, okay, ISO compliant. Is that what you're trying to say? I don't care about none of that stuff, man. To be honest, I know a lot of people are kind of bullish on that stuff, but it don't matter to me. I don't think it's a selling point. If I'm seeing your comment correctly, you said I was sold on that early and missed a lot of these other opportunities, early opportunities. Do you believe in long term utilities? It really is. The narrative does matter and the utility matters, but it matters the particular project. It matters what the market cap of that particular project is, how they develop it. So it's token by token. Like I hear people say, even if it's one of the narratives that I like, if it's gaming or if it's AI or it's RWA or modularity, you can't just. I think people have this assumption that just because it's in that narrative is going to do well. Like I'm trying to pick the ones that's going to do the best in those narratives. So I mean, it can't be just particularly narrative based on whether it has utility. A lot of utility stuff doesn't do well. So it really just depends on the particular project. I hate to say it that way, but it really does. Natty said, I'm not gonna lie, I was sweating when my portfolio dipped the other day. Man, y'all gotta chill, man. We at the beginning. You lucky. Y'all not even gonna remember this. But then again, Nay, I don't know if we talked about what. Yeah, you just got in, right? Yeah, you did. You got in, but I don't know if we did we go over your portfolio all the way. Forgive me if I can't remember because y'all don't be knowing. I said this in the Patreon the other day. Sometimes I'm talking to different people in the DMs too, so you might have to wait a minute. But I think we talked over yours, but I gotta see again. But yeah, them and else dips gonna come, man. I'm not gonna say that because y'all gonna start trying to guess what mine is, but I've seen some pretty big dips, man. I just be chilling. It's the beginning, so don't panic. Hey Zoe, what's your thoughts on? I still haven't looked in Kent. I still haven't looked into that one all the way yet. I had heard about it, but I don't know. I didn't get too excited when I did. I glanced at it really quick, but I didn't get too excited. Natty said I got it a few days ago. You even reviewed my portfolio. So you said I did. I'll send you my updated Excel file once I get a chance. I just wasn't sure if I finished like reviewing your portfolio. So forgive me if I didn't. It's really been real busy and there's a lot of stuff. Matter of fact, we got to get to a meeting soon. So I'm not sure if I finished it. Elon said, like, guys, yeah, hit the like. Oh, EA, what's up, man? He said, did I miss the alpha? EA funny. EA got the alpha too. That's one I was saying. He's a good Patreon too, with some other benefits and stuff too. Yeah, a lot of these other Patrons are just straight waste of money. Y'all don't even know it. I feel like mine's is good. Even I have a guy over at EA's. He likes it over there. I can't say I know some other good YouTubers, but I don't know about their Patrons. That's the only really ones I can vouch for is mine and his. But I'm telling y'all, this ain't listen, like I said, I'll promote somebody else's too. But some of these y'all are really getting no value and you have no idea. Or they're stealing research from my channel or other people's channels or EA's channel, or whatever. I just hate it for people, man. They're not gonna realize until it's too late. But yeah, man, listen, I gotta get out here. I got a meeting to get to. EA, appreciate you coming to hang out on the stream. And yeah, y'all take it easy. Y'all take it easy. And get in the Patreon. So I'm thinking about the meeting and see I just you saw how quick I just dazed out because I'm like, oh, I gotta get stuff ready for this meeting. But there's a Patreon link if y'all want to check it out. Check out EA's channel, everything altcoin. I'm trying to think what else to say. If you want to do lifetime membership, I think the email is somewhere on here, but I gotta stay on schedule for my lady and get on out of here. So what's that? Ad Tank said, I think Zoe, you are so chill because you hold long term and have a huge portfolio. For a small portfolio, you always want to have a big portfolio to get enough of the big speak. Yeah, I mean, but listen, I came from small portfolio too. Other cycles, and even this cycle, like I said, with helping my mother recover for cancer and my grandfather dementia, his whole dementia thing like snuck up on us. So at the beginning of the cycle, and I was kicking out money for that, and I couldn't even hold my money for a crypto. So yeah, we all start small, but that's how you get big by holding on and finding the right, good picks. Tad Ape said, I saw that with some of those popular patrons, 90% of their picks dip after the buy alert. So let me say this another thing about big patrons. Let me say this real quick, and it's not fun. This is just factual truth. So when you're in a small patron like mine, y'all be like, well, does he know what he's talking about? Because the picks aren't moving. When you're in a big patron, they're going to move because it's a big patron. That's the patron moving the price. So when you get an immediate move and you feel like I'm in this good patron because the price immediately moves when they say something, it's like because their patron's big. That's all y'all's money. That ain't the rest of the market. So like that's why I tell y'all just have patience, man. They're gonna find out about our picks and stuff. And actually some of them been found out. Let's see. Yeah, and some of them, some of them dump on y'all and they don't realize it. Yeah, they're using you as exit liquidity. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. Y'all will see eventually. Like I said, I know some of y'all starting to see with some of the picks. Some of them have gone down a little bit, but I'm telling y'all, in the long run, y'all gonna be happy. That's all I can say. Um, I say you might as well buy it when they cover it on YouTube because it's already dipped. Yeah, man. People will find out eventually, man. That's all I can say. But appreciate you guys coming to hang out on the channel. We usually here every day. Yesterday we had a VIP stream, but we're trying to be here every day. And so, thank you for hanging out with us. And I'll catch you next time. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/cryptozo. If you want to do a lifetime membership, hit me up at the email address and we can arrange something. But I will see you guys later.